Have you ever caught your cat staring at you and felt an unusual mix of curiosity and unease, as if they were silently observing more than just your movements? That intense, unwavering gaze isn't random, and it carries meanings that most cat owners overlook. Cats are masters of subtle communication, and their eyes are one of the most powerful tools they use to express emotions, intentions, and even warnings. Unlike dogs, who often wear their emotions openly, cats convey their thoughts in ways that can seem mysterious, almost cryptic, especially when it comes to staring. When your cat locks eyes with you, it's not simply a blank stare. It is layered with messages, some obvious, others surprisingly complex. Understanding these silent signals can completely change the way you perceive your feline companion, revealing a depth of awareness and intelligence that goes unnoticed by casual observers. The context of the stare matters just as much as its intensity, and timing can reveal whether your cat is relaxed, curious, or attempting to assert some subtle form of control. Cats have evolved as both hunters and prey, which has made them extremely aware of body language and eye contact. In the wild, a direct stare can be a challenge or a threat, while a soft, slow blink often conveys trust or submission. At home, this translates into a unique form of communication with humans, and if you pay attention, your cat can tell you volumes without ever making a sound. For instance, a cat that stares while slowly blinking is expressing comfort and affection, inviting a connection without the need for words, a kind of silent acknowledgement that strengthens your bond. On the other hand, a fixed, unblinking stare, particularly when accompanied by a stiff posture or raised tail, can signal heightened alertness or even a subtle warning, suggesting that your cat is assessing your intentions or testing boundaries. Understanding this delicate balance is crucial, because ignoring these signals can lead to miscommunication and sometimes even stress for both you and your pet. Cats are highly sensitive to human emotions and routines, and their gaze often reflects their interpretation of your mood or behavior. A stare from your cat may indicate curiosity about something you are doing, a request for attention, or even a desire for food, but it can also reveal a deeper, instinctual response, a silent way of gauging your reactions to their presence. The next time your cat catches your eye and holds that look, resist the urge to look away immediately. Instead, observe the nuances, the tilt of the head, the position of the ears, the tension in the body, because every detail adds to the story they are telling. What seems like a simple glance could actually be a message layered with affection, warning, curiosity, or even playful mischief, a reminder that cats communicate on a level far more complex than many of us realize. As you spend more time with your cat, you start noticing patterns in their stare, realizing that each gaze can carry a different layer of meaning, sometimes subtle, sometimes startling. One of the most fascinating aspects of a cat's stare is how it can shift from a sign of comfort to a subtle form of influence, almost as if they are quietly asserting their presence in the room. When your cat sits across from you, eyes fixed, ears gently forward, and tail slowly twitching, they are often evaluating their environment and gauging your responses. This silent observation is part of their instinctual intelligence, a trait developed over thousands of years of survival and social adaptation. Cats are both predators and prey, which makes them naturally attuned to the smallest changes in movement, expression, and tone. A stare can communicate more than curiosity. It can reflect anticipation, a silent request, or even a demand for interaction. In some cases, that intense look may appear slightly intimidating, and it often leaves owners questioning what exactly is going through their feline's mind. Surprisingly, a prolonged gaze doesn't always mean aggression or annoyance. It can also indicate a deep, contemplative connection, a way of silently sharing presence without the chaos of noise. Cats often rely on eye contact to create a subtle understanding between themselves and humans, testing boundaries, exploring emotional connections, and sometimes just enjoying the comfort of being noticed. The moment stretches on, and you might feel as though your cat is peering directly into your thoughts, and in a way, they are reading your body language, your posture, and even the rhythm of your breathing. Some cats even develop a habit of staring at their owners during specific routines, like when you are preparing food, typing on a computer, or reading quietly. These stares are rarely random. They are linked to anticipation, curiosity, or a simple desire for engagement. In more intimate moments, a stare can serve as a bridge, a way for your cat to communicate feelings they cannot express vocally, especially if they are naturally quiet or reserved. Understanding the subtleties of this gaze can transform your relationship, allowing you to respond more thoughtfully, meeting their needs without force or confusion. It's not unusual to discover that your cat stares at you before a playful pounce, a sudden nudge, or a gentle head bump, as though testing your readiness to respond. There is a suspenseful tension in these moments, a delicate dance of intuition and patience where both human and cat learn from each other, building trust and anticipation. The stare can also hint at hidden discomfort or stress, signaling that your cat wants reassurance, a change in environment, or simply your calm presence to feel safe again. Ignoring these signals, even unintentionally, can create distance, but when acknowledged, it deepens the connection, turning each glance into a meaningful conversation without a single word being spoken. The next time your cat locks eyes with you, pay attention to the subtle details, the blink rate, the direction of their gaze, the softness of their pupils, because each nuance reveals a story, a message, or an emotion that strengthens the invisible bond shared between a human and their feline companion, often leaving you both silently understanding each other in ways words could never capture. Sometimes, the stare of a cat can feel almost hypnotic, holding your attention longer than expected, and it's in these moments that their silent communication becomes most intriguing. There's a reason your cat chooses specific times to stare, whether it's the quiet of the early morning, the calm of the evening, or moments when you are focused on something else entirely. These stares are rarely meaningless. They often carry layers of emotion, signaling curiosity, affection, or even subtle warning, all wrapped into a gaze that seems simultaneously comforting and intense. The mystery deepens when you realize that cats can perceive things humans cannot: tiny movements, subtle changes in sound, shifts in energy, and sometimes their stare reflects this heightened awareness, as if they are silently alerting you to something beyond your immediate perception. A staring cat can also test boundaries, gauging how you respond to their presence and influence, reminding you that even the most domesticated feline retains a spark of independence and instinct. There are moments when your cat's eyes follow you from across the room, unwavering, almost as if tracking not just your movements but your emotions, silently judging, learning, and connecting on a level that feels both uncanny and intimate. Some stares are playful, teasing, inviting interaction with a slow blink or a subtle head tilt that hints at affection without requiring words. Others are more serious, a way for your cat to communicate a need or discomfort, a gentle but firm request for attention, reassurance, or change. The intensity of these moments often surprises owners who expect their pets to be predictable or simply affectionate on demand, but cats operate on a rhythm and understanding entirely their own. Over time, you begin to notice patterns, recognizing that a certain gaze precedes mealtime, playtime, or even a quiet moment of companionship. You learn to read these silent signals, realizing that what seems like randomness is actually a sophisticated form of communication. The stare can also be an expression of deep trust, the ultimate acknowledgement that your cat feels safe enough to share a moment of stillness, locking eyes without fear or apprehension, fully present in your shared space. There's suspense in every prolonged stare, a tension that keeps you alert, curious, and engaged, because you never know whether the next movement will be a gentle nudge, a playful pounce, or a reassuring curl on your lap. This silent dialogue strengthens the bond between human and feline, building a mutual understanding that words alone could never achieve, and transforming ordinary moments into connections rich with emotion and meaning. Each glance, each blink, each subtle shift in focus is a chapter in the ongoing story of companionship, trust, and instinctual intelligence, reminding us that cats communicate not just through purrs and meows, but with a presence that speaks volumes in silence. Never underestimate the depth of what your cat's stare can reveal, because paying attention unlocks a world of insight into their thoughts and feelings, teaching patience, empathy, and appreciation for the subtle ways life communicates itself. If you are benefiting from our topics, please subscribe, like, and turn on the bell notification so you can see our new videos early.